yesterday I was listening or watching, should I say, a teaching, and something was highlighted to me which I've never seen that scripture before, or that thing that happened, to think of it in that scenario. But basically, the whole kind of sermon was basically about being undefeated, and what he pulled up on was on Elijah's bones. So if you don't know the incidents, I'm gonna read it. So it happened in 2 Kings, chapter 13, and I'm gonna read from verse 20. Elijah died, and they buried him. Now the bands of the Moabites would invade the land in the spring of the year. As they were burying a man, behold, they saw a marauding band, and they cast the man into the grave of Elijah. And then the man touched the bones of Elijah. He revived and stood up on his feet. Now, what they were using that as an example is even Elijah, during his lowest moments, I mean, he was literally dead, he was still doing God's work. And it's kind of like that reminder of where sometimes we may feel our lowest, or we may be going through a lot of trials, but we don't feel, we kind of set ourselves back from, like, say, ministry work or doing, the work of God, because we may have many different thoughts. Like, sometimes we may feel that I don't feel like worthy to carry on doing this, or even sometimes you may get imposter syndrome, and you may think, I don't feel like, I feel like a bit of a hypocrite doing this, because I don't feel the way that I'm supposed to feel. But this story highlights that you can still work at the lowest. Doesn't mean that you have to stop what you're doing. That's literally what the enemy wants us to do. He wants us to stop, so he will chuck as many trials as he can at us, for us to feel that, oh, we need to stop what we're doing, because we're going through all this. How can I represent God if I'm feeling this way, this, that? But actually, no, press on. That's what the devil wants us to do. He wants us to stop. But actually, we can really make change when we work in our lowest, and when we are at our lowest as well, because we could be, at our lowest, we could then offer, pastoralship to somebody who may be suffering the same things that you're suffering, or that kind of thing. So we can still work at our lowest. Don't listen to the enemy or anything like that, because he will try and tell you that actually you can't carry on doing this because you feel like this. You can't do that, because otherwise you'll be a hypocrite. But actually, he's only saying that because you're actually really irritating the kingdom of darkness, because you're doing such a good work that he needs you to stop. So he'll just chuck everything at you to try and get you to stop, but to actually keep going. Just don't listen to what the enemy is saying in your ears, because it's completely lies. You can still work. You can still work at your lowest. If Elijah's bones can bring someone to life, his dead bones can bring something to life. You can still touch people's lives when you are struggling and when you are at your lowest.